Hi guys, how are you? I hope you're doing well. I am doing well myself. My name is Ndut or Auntie Wamaju, and I've just come here to make a stew for you guys, yeah? And I remember this stew because it's very cold in Worcester, yeah? And it's one of those stews that just used to warm us in July. I discovered this stew myself, and when I was, getting deep into the love of cooking, I never used to use a lot of spices, I had just a Royco sometimes, yeah? And this is one dish, you don't add a lot of spices, but just the natural flavors are, immense and deep and just so good. And it's the only dish I've found to go so well with chapati besides our beloved pea and carrot and potato soup or stew. So yeah, it's a beef stew with yummy sweet potatoes and whole spinach. And actually just finding this spinach is what made me think I should surely do these stews for you guys. So Karibu, if you haven't subscribed, what are you waiting for? You already know that you're going to do great things here. So hit on that subscribe button and let's do this. And I hope if you try this stew, you'll really enjoy it, yeah? All right, so Karibu, let's cook. So guys, let's start this stew. And I'm starting by infusing my meat with all the nice flavors. So nyama, kitungu, garlic, And I used to use garlic and coriander crushed together. But in this one, I'm just adding all separately, but together they will just boil and infuse. We are going for the maximum flavor. And this is like a memory day because while I was doing this, I remembered hot water chapati recipe I used to use all the time. And when I got to college, one teacher stopped me because she also would volunteer to make chapatis, and I knew my chapatis were a no fail, and I volunteered. But when she saw me using that hot boiling water on chapati, she made me understand that it's not right to do that because it's like cooking the flour before you actually start the process of making the chapati. So it's not right. You don't need to cook the flour because it gets a bit gummy. And I do agree, that's the truth, yeah? But this is the best recipe, I think, for beginners because it saved me so many times and we were none the wiser, right? So we would cook chapati. I would cook chapati like this with hot water, and it's a no-fail soft chapati recipe. So because I knew I couldn't really share with you without an explanation, I started the process of making the chapatis without taking it on video because it's like I wanted to test it out and see if I remember how to do it. And man, I got the softest chapati. Having said that, I will show the part where rolling them out and cooking them, but let's go into our stew. What I've done here is just add my meat, onions, garlic, the oil, and you want this water or the stock to cook together with or in the meat until the water runs out and the oil remains. So that's a tip in itself, yeah? I learned from one of the best. So you let this boil for a while until it starts drying, and then we'll get into it. And honey, for someone who never burns food, lately I've been doing that while on video. I do not know why. Anyway, so you want your meat to dry up, all the stock to dry up, and you want to have cut your sweet potatoes in advance, and you want the skin on. So if you notice, my skin is really scrubbed, and that is because you want to cook with the skins on, and you want your carrots a bit chunky, just like this. So you add the sweet potatoes together with the carrot, and if you can add the stalks of dania at this point because you want to introduce that fragrant smell or flavor into your food. And once you stir enough, yeah, you just add enough stock and let it boil. So this stock has boiled and it kind of does thicken on its own, but it's always so good, yeah, to just come in with your Royco, one that you have already mixed aside with some water, and at the very end, when it's like 5 to 10 minutes to go, you want to add it into your stew and let it thoroughly boil. That's why I'm still showing this part, so you can see how the stew is simmering, still in the pot, you know, until your potatoes get done, as well as your carrot. But you want to add your Royco at the very end, just like I've done. That is not all, honey. The stew is thickening, and now you have to have washed your spinach, and you come in with your spinach all nice and washed, and you just want to lay it on top like that and let it soften. And then while you're doing that, you want to be rolling out your chapatis. These chapatis have gone through the process, and I let the dough rest for quite a bit. Then I made it into balls. And this dough is so good because it's so much easier to spread out like this. Yeah. So while you're rolling out, you find that it moves more swifter or more softly than any other, you know, dough. And you're back to your stew now. The spinach has sort of wilted, yeah, and the flavors are emerging, you know, just merging together, if for lack of a better explanation. So you want to just stir it like this, stir in the spinach, and you want them to go under the stew, and you don't want to overcook them, yeah. Just let them soften in the stew, let them get into the you know, those flavors. And you know, this spinach will be one of the best tasting thing in this soup. So when you do get to bite this, bite everything together, the spinach, the carrot, the beef, you know, and the potato together, you know, and just dip your chapati in there and enjoy. You see how good it looks? It's as good as it is tasty, yeah? The only thing I would say to add would be salt and pepper. Still goes very well together. You don't need to add like curries and nothing, because if you know about Gikuyu food, it's yummy because of the natural ingredients just coming through. And now I'm making my chapatis in the usual way. I like to have my heat lower in one of the pans. That way I can be able to just cook one of the chapatis, and by the time I finish, the other one will have, you know, set, and then I'll take it to the next pan and fry. But this one were giving me a run for my money. They were turning fast, and so I had to cook on both sides until everything settled. But I cooked this a dozen chapatis in less than 30 minutes, you know. It was moving fast, and I really liked it, yeah. So these chapatis were soft and nobody complained about the gumminess, so it's a win-win. And as you can see, they get aerated. How could I forget, you know? So because this was a success, we are soon going to make hot chapati, you know, hot water chapati that are never a fail, you know. So that will benefit a lot of people. And I do know that some people, you know, some families use this as a method. It's not college approved, like no culinary skill school in Kenya will allow that to happen. Some might, you know, but these are really good. You can tell they're already so soft. If you're using a dome like this to keep them soft, make sure it's wider. Mine was a bit too close to the chapatis and they sweat a bit. But yeah, this was a success, yeah. And everybody enjoyed this meal. You want to serve it hot, yeah, and it will make for very fun, very comfy. This is a comfort food, perfect for those chilly evenings. So thank you for watching this. I'll catch you on the next one, or you do catch me, yeah, and watch the other videos. I'm having so much fun making them, and I do hope that you enjoy and learn something. And while at it, do subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.